YouTube. What is going on? What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today? A little bit of a different kind of setup today. We will be doing a TMNT whole series analysis. Now, wait a minute. I know there's been someone that people have been requesting. There's been someone that has been gone from the channel a little bit. My homeboy, the one and only. Hey, the duo's back. The duo's back. Nigga, the dynamic duo is back. Yes, sir. No, we need a whole bunch of good energy and vibes and shit, bro. Make sure you guys like and subscribe before we start this video. It'll help the channel a lot. Plenty more content coming out soon. And yeah. So TMNT 2012. This is like both of our childhoods combined. And I think anybody's childhood as well if you were around during that time. Let me tell you something. I remember watching the first like trailers for the series. Like, I don't know if you did, bro. You remember seeing like the first trailers for the series when it came out?
I do remember that, showing the Krang, the Shredder off, the Ninja Turtles, what they were going up against.
Yeah, hearing the voices and stuff. And that's what tuned me on. Like, my first introduction to the Turtles prior to like 2012, the 2007 movie and like the 1990 movie, but that didn't really intrigue me in. Like, there was something about the 2012 show that instantly captivated my young mind. Like, literally, my head was dead ass like turned the fucking direction of the TV when I heard Booyakasha being held on the TV screen. Like, what about you, bro?
My entire world was shook, bro, when I got my first opportunity to see the intros, bro, because that was back before I even knew what they fully were. And I mean, but seeing the animation style they used, bro, the parkour they had, the voices matched perfectly well with the way they look. The combat, like them actually using their weapons, bro, it was absolute peak. It only got better from season probably like 2 to 4. I mean, season 1 was obviously good. I mean, season 2 was kind of where things started ramping up.
Bro, season 2, that shit escalated to like fucking 10, bro. It's like season 1 was like kind of like just like, okay, yeah, cool, it's all introduction. And then fucking season 2 was just all like boom, fucking hello, bro, shit.
Real.
Over there, bro.
Stakes started getting raised.
No, for real.
Fucking niggas didn't start actually doing
bro,
shit.
Yeah, niggas started almost dying and shit, bro. And then season 3, like introduction, I remember seeing the commercials about their returning to New York and just seeing about the mutants and everything, kind of like the Turtles. Like, it shows kind of like how far like the Turtles' mistakes can travel, because if you think about it, there's a callback. So you remember each episode of Within the Woods, right? Yeah. It's about the mutagen that spilled and shit that dropped, right? Yeah. And so I'm assuming that shit obviously fucking must have found a way to get to either that side of the forest. I don't know, maybe it must have been like Krang and shit underneath like the thing, but
the main mutants in the season 3 were only being made because the first one, the Creep, he was made because Donnie tried to make a mutagen health serum for Leo. Leo didn't like it, he vomited it out, it went onto a flower, and that made the Creep. Then I don't remember how the fucking car got made, but there was a car, the mutagen car. They blew that car up, the car blew up with mutagen on it, and then it made a mutant bird. There was a Krang ship underneath April O'Neil's house, or farmhouse, and that was holding her mom there, but turns out it wasn't her mom. It was actually like a little Krang robot or experiment or something that was made to like mimic people. It was trying its best to get to April, and then they killed it. So a lot of things I figured out were basically caused by either the Turtles or just things that were happening around those areas. I think that also revealed that, the Krang wasn't just working only in New York. They were working in other places around the planet.
Another thing also, bro, and this is kind of like, if you're a Turtles fan, because there's a lot of people that don't like this show, which is surprising, right? Because I felt like, no, it's like every single like incarnation of the Turtles, bro, this shit was all blended into one, bro. Deadass, bro. This shit was deadass all blended into one entity, bro. As like a whole series, bro. So I feel like even if you were a fan of the 80s show or a fan of the fucking movies or the early 2000s show, this shit all got blended into one entity, bro.
Exactly.
And we had this shit. So
that is how you do a perfect adaptation of everything that is respective to the Turtles.
Exactly.
Comics,
exactly.
Video games.
Exactly.
Movies.
Exactly.
That's how you do it.
Exactly, bro.
You put all the good stuff into one.
Like, if anybody's gonna take notes, like if they're gonna do like a Batman show or something like that, if they're gonna do like a Spider-Man show, they gotta take it from every single incarnation. Like, that's how you know, like, the creators of the show, they really were paying attention to the fan base. That's what I like about when certain people write like shows and shit.
And bro, we gotta talk about another thing about the Turtles. The designs. Outfits, villains they had, bro. The designs were always peak.
No, for real, bro. I'm not gonna lie. The designs,
I can't think of one outfit they did wrong, in my opinion.
There were some people that kind of got mad when they saw like the 3 toes or whatever and stuff with the Turtles. I mean, personally, I didn't mind it, bro. Like, I really
Plus, don't turtles only have like, I don't think they have 5 toes, do they? I had a pet turtle, but like, he died like 2 years ago or like 3 years ago. I mean, so I haven't seen a turtle in a minute, but I'm sure they don't have 5 toes, I think.
Wait, what's his name?
Spike.
Dude, bro, I had a pet turtle too, bro, but my name, well, at least his names were like, it was 2 actually. It was 2 red ear sliders. One was Donatello and then one was Michael Jackson. But those niggas used to stink, bro. They used to fucking stink, bro.
Yeah, they stink very quickly.
No, for real.
That water becomes bad then. If you don't change it, they end up getting in that shit and it's all bad.
So we'll kind of go into like in order between each season a little bit of kind of like what at least we think about each season as a whole. So season 1 kind of starts up, right? Proper introduction to the Turtles. I think the first thing that this show really focused on more a little bit than comparison to like past past incarnations and even incarnations now is, bro, that shit started off with martial arts, and I feel like that's how every single version of the Turtles needs to start. They gotta pay attention to the basics, bro. The basics is what matters. This is what the people want, bro. You feel me? It's like, how you gonna start a Ninja Turtles movie off, bro, without martial arts, bro, them stopping something, or their origin, bro? It's those three things, bro.
Yeah, at least for like a season 1 or beginning first movie.
Exactly, bro. Anything else, bro, it's like you're not explaining, like, it's in their name, Ninja Turtles.
Exactly. And season 1, I mean, like you said, it was all about martial arts, but it was also about the stealth. And I mean, they tried to maintain their secret. First time going out into the world, they had to maintain the stealth and secret. I mean, and then we got introduced to April O'Neil, Baddie, by the way.
Oh yeah, of course. See, look. Look. I mean, I'm not really like a snowboarding warrior like that, bro. But look, man, I play in the snow for the one time, bro.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
It's a knee slapper, nigga.
No, I ain't gonna lie. Your boy would have to get all up in that.
No, for real, bro. Yo, wait, nigga, she's like 15.
Well, yeah, I mean,
wait.
I meant at the time when I was watching.
Yeah.
Like, she,
bro,
like, she ain't that attractive now.
No.
You know, she's still a cool looking character. I mean, you know, she ain't that attractive now.
Bro,
back then when I first saw it, because I was like 14, 15, right? When it first came out. No, around like 12, probably.
We're 20 right now. So when the show came out, bro, we were like fucking, 7, 8 years old, bro.
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, we were like 7, 8 years old, right?
Yeah, so I was like, I ain't gonna lie. Back then, she was back.
No, yeah, back then, definitely.
That was kind of like
younger me, definitely, bro, 100%.
Oh yeah, younger me would have been all up in that.
Yeah, younger me definitely would have cried.
Now it's kind of like me would have just been like, okay, cool.
Also, season 1,
we don't cry back then,
bro. Yeah, well, look, we're gonna talk about relationships with the show because this shit is kind of interesting the way how they kind of do the relationships.
Yeah, I feel like we really need to talk about the Ryan Leo situation, but I feel like if we do that, we're gonna get a whole bunch of controversial comments in this video, and then we're talking about, you know, oh, he didn't say he wanted to date. Come on, sorry, yeah, come on. Leo was trying to smash, but his sister, technically.
Another thing, also, we also get a chance to know kind of really what the Turtles are in this incarnation. Like, you notice how different versions of the Turtles, right? Yeah. You have the basic character traits, like Leo being the leader, Mikey being the party dude, Donnie the fucking science dude, and Raph being the angry nigga, right? Yeah. But in this version, I like how they fleshed out these characters. Like, a lot of versions, they don't know how to, like, write their characters kind of, like, correctly. But with this one, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, even now sometimes, like, I might, like, peek up on the show and rewatch it every now and then, bro. Like, those jokes make me laugh, bro. Like, I have an older cousin, bro. He was, like, 18, 19 when the show came out back then, like, 10 years ago, right? Even he's fucking 30 now, bro. But he still enjoys watching that shit because it's funny, bro. Like, the jokes were in funny. Everything was fresh, bro. And I remember Nickelodeon was promoting the fuck out of this show, bro. Literally, with the toys, the merchandise.
It was one of their best shows at the time.
No, for real, it was. It was doing, like, the numbers I think the Turtles was doing was relatively really good, bro. And this is before, like, you know, kids started, you know, using YouTube as, like, mainstream entertainment and shit.
This is back when cable still ruled the world.
Yeah, exactly, bro. So, like, y'all gotta understand, bro. This shit was, like, a different fucking time. I like how we speak like we old heads or some shit.
Yeah, we 20, bro.
Bro, I mean, yeah, low key.
We old heads compared to these 12-year-old iPad users or some shit.
No, yeah, low key. But, like, everything with season 1, I think, was done perfectly. Another thing also, bro, first interaction with the Shredder, bro. Like, the first fight with the Shredder, I feel like has to be done in such a way, like, where the Turtles kind of, like, they meet the Shredder, give this dark introduction, right? And they usually get their ass handed, right? Bro, this version of the Shredder was straight up smacking niggas. Boom, boom. Y'all remember when Shredder hit the fucking 4-piece combo on Raph? Boom, 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 boom.
Everybody set that nigga out into the darkness. I was like, bro, it's over. I was like, it's over. I was like, bro, I was on my knees, man. I was like, it's over. We've lost. It's over. Oh, it's lost.
Bro, and then Leo almost gets killed towards the end, bro, and Splinter wakes up, bro. For real, I feel like Shredder was done so amazing, bro.
Was this before he knew that Oroku Saki was,
This is before.
Shredder? Because I think he didn't know who Shredder was at the time. I think he only figured out, like, what, late season 1? No, I think he always knew.
No, yeah, he always knew, because he already...
Yeah, no, because I remember they had they had a flashback episode where the Turtles were part of the reason why Shredder became who he was. He knew he was Shredder.
Persona, yeah.
I gotta rewatch season 1. I gotta figure out why he didn't tell them that Oroku Saki was Shredder. Because I feel like he did tell them probably, but I feel like a part of my brain is remembering that he didn't tell them Oroku Saki was Shredder. Now, if he did, you know what I mean, I feel like part of the reason was, you know, he didn't have a reason to tell them. I mean, there was no reason that they should have known, you know, until they found Karai, and he was like, okay, Karai, you guys should know now.
Season 1 ends off with the final showdown. Turtles think they at least beat the Crane. Everybody thinks a small sacrifice was made when Leo went down with the ship, but he ended up surviving. Another thing also, at the end of each episode, one thing always highlights to the next episode, whether if it's like a freeze frame or something like that, it's something will always highlight towards the next episode. That's what I think is done beautifully.
The freeze frame, bro. The freeze frame to, like, the transition from, like, you know, the actual, like, artwork, I mean, and then, you know, to, like a little comic book cover. That shit was so peak.
You know, for real, it was, bro. Like, one of my favorite ones of all time was when Raphael and Casey Jones jumped out, and they were...
Oh, yeah, side by side. Was like, bro, that shit was tough. Shit was... I'm not gonna lie, I would have made that shit one of my wallpapers on my phone. I'm not gonna lie. If I could find that shit gonna be a wallpaper.
Season 2 starts off with the bang Krang. The turtles feel cocky. Every single turtle has their own individual personality, whether Donnie liking April, which we'll get in about romance later on. But one thing that I will appreciate though is that they kind of flesh these characters out into such a way, like Raph being done in such a way to where he's angry, but at the same time though, bro still has a personality. He's not just some angry asshole, bro.
Trying to figure out how he can control this anger and focus it into something other than, you know, just punching everything.
Mikey's character's done nice. The only thing I wish I want to change is that sometimes, bro, this nigga's fuck ups out of nowhere would cause the whole mission to get like failed out of nowhere. It's like, are y'all intentionally writing this nigga to be a dumbass?
Season 2 was like Mikey's fuck up phase. That was when every 5 seconds of the episode
you hear Mikey. Yeah, it was season 1 also, most definitely, bro. And then
shit probably blew the mic.
Leo also, like you said, with his nerd phase and stuff, like when he was like Holt villain.
Yeah, he was
like Holt.
He was going through what was it, his space heroes phase. I think that's what
but it still even lasted the whole show. But okay, we're getting off topic with the turtles' personality. So, but season 2 in particular, it starts off with the turtles, right? They get cocky, and then they have this mission, and obviously the music canisters get dropped, bro, and everybody in the city gets mutated. Now,
I think that's when they mutated April's dad.
Yeah, which I was gonna get into in a second. Each and every single canister falls, right? And so this season starts off with the bang. It's like, damn, the turtles actually fucked up. Like they have to now learn from their mistakes.
I think this season 2 was kind of, in my opinion, was more focused on the Krang, their invasion, and figuring out what the mutagen was, and also locating more of the mutagen. I mean, it was more about the mutagen, what it could do, and the Krang and how they were going to use it. If I remember correctly, it was more about that. I think it was around the first time when they start introducing the Technodrome, and that's when they started, you know, experimenting with the mutagen.
That was the end of season 1. The Technodrome was the big giant thing that was floating inside the air.
They stopped. But then they were introducing the mutagen bombs they were building and stuff, and they were like mutating other people and stuff. I think it was season 2 or 3. That's when the Krang also started, I think, talking with Shredder. That's when they started actually communicating. Then they started their little partnership slowly. That's what I liked about it. They didn't force the partnership like within one episode. I mean, no, throughout season 2, he captured a Krang droid and he slowly started talking to the Krang, trying to understand their language, what they were doing, what they were planning. And then they slowly started cooperating with each other to where now they were suddenly allies.
Another thing also, the Shredder and Krang are visibly working together a little bit more. You see different things, different instances with that. Another thing also, I think with season 2 that definitely got highlighted also was, like I said, the mutagen spilling. Each and every single episode kind of builds into another. Like what I was saying about how one episode ends, go straight to the other. One episode ends, go straight to the other. Another thing also, we get our introduction to Casey Jones. Now, out of all introductions of Casey Jones, this one low-key kind of gets hate. I don't really know why, because, I mean, I understand he's a teenager.
I think that's mainly the reason why.
But it's just because April and Casey are aged down in this version, which I gotta say, you know what I mean? I understand.
I have an issue with it.
I feel like it's more for older turtle fans. Now, personally, I feel like for this version of Casey Jones, though, he wasn't bad. I really liked his design. I really liked also, like, they kind of used his other abilities. Like, he didn't have like a golf bag full of gadgets and stuff or goodies or whatever. He only had like 3 weapons, like 2 hockey sticks and a baseball bat. But he also had a stinger. He also had a skeleton hockey mask, but it was like spray painted this time around. He had a whole bunch of stuff on him, but it looked cool though.
I think they could have dived a little more into his family.
Yeah, his orange. And that was the one thing. Yeah, that was the one.
Never went into it. Like, I still remember during the invasion, they were trying to escape. He was like, he went looking for his parents, but they skipped that entire scene. They were kind of like they're already gone. I'm like, so who were they? What did they look like? And then they gave us a Casey Jones episode, the good, the bad, and the Casey Jones. That kind of just built his rival on, yeah.
Pretty much, Casey Jones gets introduced, right? His first episode was Mutagen Man Unleashed when him and April was taking a break with the turtles and stuff. Afterwards, Casey and April, they go out, I guess, or not date, but, you know, they hang out.
Yeah, let's go for hang out.
Yeah, they're just hanging out, and then that's when Casey first gets his own exposure to, the shit that April sees on a fucking daily. Now, the good and the bad episode of Casey Jones, bro, that shit was more or less Casey Jones' introduction. That's when him and Raph fight, right? They get into the squabble. Casey Jones gets introduced to the family, etc.
Which is another good adaptation of, it was in the 80s movie, or when him and Raph first encountered each other, when the street jacket type thing.
And then, obviously, the end of the season 2 being the invasion. The turtles, the invasion happens, right? It's kind of been hinted at. The Krang, it's been highlighted at for a while that obviously the Krang are doing this invasion. Each episode kind of highlights to it, especially with the Dimension X episode. And obviously the turtles can't do nothing about it. They think about fleeing, and then obviously this happens a little bit too late, and Leo and Donnie kind of go through their differences, which I think is very interesting because usually it's Leo and Raph that always argue, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe in the comics Leo and Donnie have butted heads, but it's usually Leo and Raph. Leo and Donnie kind of butt heads a little bit about what's gonna happen, what's the plan, right? Donnie wants to use the mech. Leo says, nah bro, it's not efficient, it's too big, it'll get in the way. And obviously this leads to them butting heads, and obviously the invasion happens and it's too late. And the worst thing about this shit, I feel like when the Krang find out about these niggas' layers, it's all because of April's dumb ass, bro. Yeah. Literally.
She brought her friend down there when she shouldn't have.
Obviously, this episode kind of gets very insane. Every single group is kind of put in their duos. Kind of Donnie, April, and Mikey are kind of left at April's crib protecting Kirby. Leo's on his own. Splinter's fighting off all the robots, the Krang droid bots, and then Casey and fucking Raph, bro, are dead ass running away from Krang Prime that's spilling all the mutagen. It's a whole mess full of things. Another thing also we gotta talk about, Shredder and Splinter. Their first fight happens. Splinter clears the whole fucking Foot Clan like it's nothing, and then practically beats the turd out of Shredder and almost was about to kill this nigga until he finds out obviously Karai is his daughter.
Yep.
And then obviously this pent up rage and aggression, right? Now, Shredder wants his ones back, right? Because this nigga's an unfair fighter. Splinter comes through. He's not really wanting to fight, bro. And I've noticed almost kind of Splinter low key in the season 2 fight, Splinter was holding back a little bit because he was trying to just get his sons out the invasion.
Yeah, he really was.
He was holding back, dude, because, bro, season 1, he wasn't holding back. He was going to kill Shredder, bro. But then season 2, he was holding back, bro, because he was like, bro, there's too much shit going on, bro. Let me just farm my son, bro, and get the fuck up out of here. And then Leatherhead comes in and practically saves the day until Shredder fucking beats the living tar out of this nigga.
That shit was insane. I'm like,
bro.
He's not just being a crocodile. He's beating like a 12-foot.
Exactly. Man, crocodile shit, bro. And Shredder's just clearing his shit like it's nothing, bro. He's like, bitch, nigga. And then he fucking double leg takedown or whatever. Like, this is this nigga's legs. Boom! Hits Leatherhead and Leatherhead falls. And then Splinter is like, you know what? I'm about to fucking kill this nigga.
Yeah.
And then he starts.
Broke out a Zenkai for him. Fucking took off all, like, what was that? I think cement or some shit? No,
the pipes, yeah.
Fucking.
He lifted up, bro, because remember, his mutant anatomy is a lot stronger, right? They have superhuman abilities. And then he fucking takes Shredder down. And then obviously this leads to the fight later, which him and Shredder are obviously, you know, fighting down there. And at least what it's to believe, Shredder almost kills Splinter. Now, I'm not gonna lie, bro, before we we don't need to really dive too much in this, but what was your reaction to when you saw Splinter lose for the first time and then him get thrown down?
Bro, damn, if the master can't beat this nigga, what can the turtle?
No, for real. Bro, I remember my reaction to shit.
Thing is, too, this Shredder walked away injured too. That Splinter was running hands.
No, Splinter dead ass was running hands, but he was holding
backup.
But he
couldn't get it.
I still think Splinter was holding back, dude.
Wait, why did I feel like we missed something in season 2?
No. I'm about to get into the Karai shit also.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, because I was like, okay, I thought I was forgetting something. I was like, why am I feeling like
my fault if we're going out of order in this video, just because I don't want to spend
off memory.
Yeah, I don't want to spend so much time kind of being stuck off one season because I kind of want to get all the seasons wrapped up pretty quick. Yeah. But pretty much though, then this leads into the Turtles flee the city. They go to April's old farmhouse. This leads into season 3. Obviously, first banger episode, Within the Woods. It introduces the creep. Leo's out for 6 months with a broken leg, and then he's chilling in the bathtub and wakes up. I don't know.
His arc was so good, though.
No, for real, yeah.
It was so good. And then choosing not to, give up, knowing he was the leader. And I mean, he has to get back out there. Him figuring out how to, adjust to his injuries.
And this is around the time when Leo had a new voice actor. Like the end of season 2, they switched out the voice actor for Leo because I think Jason Biggs was saying some freaky ass shit on Twitter. And then fucking
I was only 8 or 9. I had no idea what the
bro. And then they ended up swapping him out with somebody else, and then that's when Seth Rogen got introduced. Yeah, Seth Rogen I think made Leo's like progression as a character grow tremendously. But obviously season 3 happens. Every single episode that we talked about with Within the Woods starting off as a banger, right? The recovery arc, and then the return to New York. I remember seeing the commercials for that. I was so excited when that shit happened.
Bro, I was like, these dudes are finally about to take back their home.
No, and then they did it in like a cool solid a few episodes. They did it in like a couple episodes. The first episode being a banger, and then the second episode them kind of getting to the bottom of shit. And then that's when we get the introduction to the mutanimals. Yep. But pretty much then after we introduced to the Triceratons, right? I will say this personally, around this time of when the show was happening, I felt like looking back at this shit now after I watched it as a little bit of my mature 20-year-old mind, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like the space episode, some of those shits definitely felt like filler, but it obviously introduces the Triceratons, right? And then we get the end of the world shit, and I will say this, bro, Splinter fucking gets killed, bro, in the fucking finale. Again. Yeah, literally, bro. This nigga gets oofed, bro, 3 times in the whole series, bro.
It was official death, I mean, but it was like
it just happened.
It was believed to be dead already like 2 times before this. So like,
it just happened at it just happened at the wrong time because and this little reason is what caused the world to end because Shredder's intense fucking, I guess, jealousy built up. Which I gotta say, the problem with Shredder's motive is that what the fuck is this nigga's motive? Pure hatred and jealousy.
He's just a D1 hater, bro. His pure motive is nothing but unregistered, completely unjustified rage towards fucking Splinter for something Splinter didn't even do.
No, for real.
He didn't kill the girl.
Tang Shin died because of Shredder. His shot was meant for Splinter, but Tang Shin got
delusional ass still wants to believe Splinter had everything to do with it. Okay.
And then I never understood like Shredder's motive. Okay, so you kidnap bro's daughter, and then you hold on to her and raise her to be this assassin. Yeah. Then you tell the person that you fucking like. It'd be different if he was keeping it a secret, and then they finally revealed it later on. But they he told him at the end of season 1. I'm like, okay, wow.
I still don't get most of season 2, and he was kind of just locking her up. Like, I get, you didn't want to let her go, but like, brother, what was locking her up going to do with your relationship? Like, all that would have did was make her more upset, which is exactly what she ended up doing.
And Shredder only really ever cared about just hanging out with, his daughter, and just, he didn't give a fuck about the world or whatever.
One of the episodes that he was like, I would let the world burn for all I care if you would just talk to me. And I was like,
what the fuck? Like,
this nigga had no remorse or care.
Like,
he didn't give a fuck. But
this is why, like, I feel like in comparison to the 2003 version of the Shredder, this nigga had motives though. The 2003 Shredder was dead as just an evil fucking dictator, bro.
This 2003 Shredder, bro.
This nigga was
all of them, like,
bro. No,
there was no Shredder to really pick.
But the Ultron Shredder though, that's what I call the original Shredder. That nigga was fucking pure evil. Remember the fucking the Dark Future episode where Donnie got sent to the alternate timeline, and that nigga ruled the whole fucking city. That shit was insane. But pretty much,
I still find that episode kind of crazy too, because it's like they claim Donnie left and never came back, but it's like, where the fuck did he go? We never find out where he went. We never find out. If he died, if he just abandoned the planet. He just left and never came back.
Shredder kills Splinter. The fucking world comes to an end with the black hole generator. Whole Earth gets fucking swallowed. We get a whole bunch of filler episodes. Then we get into the Krang. Because we didn't go to the end of season. We didn't even fucking talk about the Krang. Because my fault if we're kind of a little bit unorganized. We're going off pure memory. We haven't watched the show in a minute.
I ain't watched the show. Like, the last time I rewatched the show was probably a year ago. And
same.
Brother, it's about to be October.
That bro. It's probably the same amount of time for me. But then, totally unrelated thing, we gotta backtrack a little bit. Then the Turtles finally defeat the Krang in season 3 by setting up this alliance with the Mutanimals, and they obviously, I forget what happens. They send the Krang back to Dimension X.
Yes.
They send them all back to Dimension X, and then the Krang is done, right? Which I feel like it's perfect, good way to end the Krang saga, because the Krang saga was probably one of the longest. Like, there's so much levels to this shit, bro.
It was long, but it was so good.
No, for real. Okay, now they come back from space. The way how the space saga ends is that they use Future Toy sacrifices himself.
Yeah, he sacrificed because he realized the only way to destroy the black hole generator is with, I forgot what it's called, but it's like Negaton level tons of energy, which only he holds inside of his core, which is the only way to destroy the black hole generator.
And so they time travel, I think, and this is.
Oh yeah, no, we can't forget about the bullshit way they got rid of the other Turtles by having Future Toy pop up out of fucking nowhere, not even recognizing the big ass explosion and being like, oh yeah, hey past Turtles, you guys want to come have an adventure? Then he's like, don't worry, you'll never see them again. As if he's saying that shit like he's gonna get rid of them or something. And they just never come back. By the way,
no, for real.
They never returned,
bro.
And Splinter's like, my sons, wait! And then other sons come over here and hug him, and he's like, okay. I'm like, so we just let Future Toy walk off with those versions, and we're okay with that?
No, for real. And then another thing also with this show is that it shows, like, one thing that I was talking about, how it kind of takes from every single version of the Turtles. This version of the show took the liberty of grabbing the original 80s voice actors of the original Turtles and doing an episode. And that episode was fucking peak, bro. So good. And then we even get our own version of Turtles Forever, kind of.
You already know that the nigga voicing, what was it? I think Donnie or Rat? No.
Well, they were making jokes about that.
He was voicing that, doesn't he voice Donnie?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, bro. You already know he's getting double the paycheck, bro.
Yeah. Nah. Hell yeah. Yeah, bro was making that. Rob Paulson was making that money. That money.
You know, he pretty dapping up the director like, yeah.
But pretty much, then we get into the end of season 4, which is obviously the finale between the Turtles and the Foot, which is, I think, has been long awaiting. Now, obviously, Shredder, so his motives, I guess, kind of changed because Karai, obviously got cured of the brainworm shit, and then they get into.
Wait, that was when wasn't it? That was when Splinter ended up crippling him. Or paralyze him or some bullshit. One of the two.
Wait, what?
Remember when they solved the space crisis and the entire black hole thing, and Splinter went and fought Shredder after he...
Oh yeah, okay.
He basically like paralyzed.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that.
Trying to get crawled away by Tiger Claw. I think it was like,
this is what I was
we'll
talking
be
about.
Back.
See, like, this
is like, will you?
This is what I was talking about how Splinter was holding back. So right before, you guys remember the second time when Splinter gets killed, right? So this time Splinter blocks that shit and cripples this nigga Shredder out of nowhere, bro. And then Shredder's inside the hospital bed.
If you could have did that, like, why didn't you do that shit a long ass time ago? Like,
just hold him back, man.
Yeah, I'm like, nigga, you clearly are capable of crippling him. It's crazy because he barely did much, you know what I mean? Just like these quick movements, bro. That shit was enough to put Shredder in a hospital bed. This nigga was on life support, bro.
No fact.
That shit was insane. I'm like, bro, this nigga really can run hands when he wants to.
After that, they give him the super mutagen, I'm assuming, and he becomes into the Super Shredder. This is obviously a callback to the Turtles 2 movie, Secret of the Ooze, and that shit was pretty interesting. I will say that. My first reaction to seeing kind of Super Shredder being done, I was like, oh shit, what the fuck are they gonna do? And this shit turned into like a 5-episode super series. The Turtles get split into into different teams because Shredder, Super Shredder is obviously all like, you know what, I've had enough. I don't care about Karai anymore. I'm gonna finally end this shit once and for all. And he damn near almost kills his own fucking daughter because he causes an explosion at the Mighty Mutant Animals crib. And then obviously,
from what I remember, he ends up like, no, there it was. Baxter Stockman ends up finally perfecting the formula to help Shredder with his transformation. I mean, to make sure he stops holding back. He goes through the training and he slices through Karai and he's like, okay, now you finally have no more restraint. You have no more reason to finally hesitate and hold back now. And yeah, like you said, that's when, you know, he crashed to the Mutant Animals place and almost basically killed Karai and left her for dead.
Yep, I mean, damn near, because Leo had to resuscitate her, bro. But she would have been, if he didn't do that, she would have been gone.
Yeah, and honestly, that was peak. It was about time that he finally stopped caring. I mean, he finally became the villain that we all know and love. The guy that doesn't give a fuck and is willing to just kill just to kill. Just to get the job done.
This is what I was talking about his motives, dude. It's like his motives were so unclear. This episode obviously ends with the two separate groups. Leo, Donnie, Mike, and Leatherhead obviously clear the other team with ease, but it was a distraction because the other team with Splinter, Casey, Raph, April, and Slash ends really badly. Slash gets done Raphael style by throwing this nigga into the wolf building. Casey gets knocked off the building. April's down after getting cut by one little tiny piece of metal.
To be fair, she's a kunoichi. I mean, she's barely been through most of the shit they have.
Yeah, so
she ain't built like them.
Splinter obviously has to carry. Raph was taking the fucking punches, bro. This nigga did a spin kick on the Shredder's face, right? And then after that, Shredder picks him up, punches him down on the ground 4 or 5 times, and then he's done, bro.
Bro, Raph was putting hands up. He tried, bro.
He was trying, bro. He was trying so bad. And then Splinter and Shredder kind of fight. And then I will say one thing that I also like to highlight, bro. This nigga was throwing fucking blazes at this nigga, and they stabbed him, and he was like, bro, I'm unfazed. What the fuck you gonna do?
That shit snapped. That shit snapped. I was like, it's over.
He was like, what's up, bro? He was like, it tickled, bro.
I actually almost wanted to start crying. I was like, this shit is pink.
And then Splinter thinks he finally beat Shredder by locking in, but then Shredder finally kills Splinter.
He's getting the most iconic scene. Fucking Leo pops up out of the fucking truck, looks up with the telescope, and is like, he's like, bro, that shit was so peak. That shit was so fucking hilarious. Cause bro,
wait, do the face again?
Yeah, he goes, looks, he's like, bro. Bro, and then that nigga Shredder to the Splinter turned around and got stabbed in the stomach. I was like, bro, that was probably the most most like not R-rated thing. Like that was probably the most M-rated thing they did in that show.
I will say this. I definitely
the M-rated thing was Tail of Tiger Claw where they cut off his arm. That was clean.
I definitely felt it when Splinter died, or at least finally was killed off.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, but it felt like
that's one of the most made memes. Is like all of Reddit for them. They're like, oh shit, Splinter died for like the 5th time again.
I feel like the thing was that it was kind of like it finally happened because we had already seen this like 4 or 5 times already. But when it finally happened, you still felt the intensity because it was done in such a gruesome way. Shredder fucking stabs this nigga and then throws him off a damn building.
Yeah, so if there was a chance of him surviving the cut, yeah, that fall, he's not surviving.
April obviously comes through with the telekinesis powers, throws Shredder off the building, and then Casey does his iconic line where he crushes Shredder inside the garbage truck. It's a callback to TMNT 1990 when oops, and then obviously Shredder gets crushed. Now this goes into the second episode, which is Aurori. And then Karai's at the hospital. They find any evidence or try to get to where Shredder's at. They go to his old mansion. They wear the iconic Shredder fucking all black emo gear.
That's once again goes to what I was saying earlier about the peak designs they be having, bro. The designs always be peak. I can't think of one bad outfit they've had for these turtles in like 4 seasons that were just, bro.
And then finally, I think Casey gets his new iconic mask. And then afterwards, they finally go through all the trials and tribulations with fighting the Foot Clan soldiers and shit. Raph completely mollywops Fish Face, bro. This nigga rips off his whole scuba gear, and then he was like, you think you are talking to that turtle? And then Raph fucking punches this nigga, and then he's gone. They obviously get to Shredder. Turtles are definitely fighting. This fight seems different. Like, they seem a lot more coordinated versus in comparison to the first fight.
Honestly, I'm so glad the way they did. And I mean, the way they let the 4 turtles, and have like the main fight with them, and then they, let Leo do.
Yeah, Leo, every single turtle kind of falls
like
off.
It was so perfect to actually let the leader be the one to finish off. I mean, instead of having,
because that's how it's done in the comics. In the original comics, for those of you that are really deep turtle fans, you guys know that the turtles fight with Shredder led to Leo finally ending it, right? Because Shredder got revived in the Return to New York series, and then Leo was the one that ended him with the final blow. And then obviously Leo hits him with the final blow. He holds the helmet, and then obviously that's it. Now we're gonna backtrack a little bit.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about some of the side characters, like April, for example. Okay, April in this show was done really, really well, but I feel like the only thing that I gotta say was kind of throwing me off a little bit was there was no need to give her the crane powers and also the kunoichi ability.
The kunoichi training was kind of just a waste.
It kind of was, yeah. Because she didn't even use that shit anymore, dude. After she got it.
Because once she got that damn crystal in season 4, that's kind of all she used.
That's all she used, bro. I mean, the outfit was fire, but like, I still think they really Shouldn't have just stuck with the whole powers and shit. And then Slash's progressive origin. Slash probably had, in my opinion, the most drastic character development. Bro started off as a tweaker, almost killing the turtles. He almost killed all these niggas. Let's not forget. Obviously, that's what happened with Slash. And then his character development kind of goes crazy because during this time, we kind of see him collab with the Neutralizer a little bit in later season 2. And then finally,
he never talked about Neutralizer.
We don't need to go into each and so in this analysis, I don't.
There's like 3 episodes.
We're not gonna go into each every single character because if we did that shit, we'd be here fucking all day, bro.
Yeah,
but
we already been here 46 minutes, bro.
No, for real. But the Neutralizer, a very interesting villain. Slash collabs with them, and then obviously he realizes that the Neutralizer is insane, and so then he switches his ways, forms with the Mutanimals, and that's how they become this clique. Now, original villains. Who do you think were your highlight villains of all time of the series?
This series, definitely. I mean, come on, you gotta push right at the top.
But
you
gotta
like, push right at the top. But,
wait, no. How about original though? Like,
that they made from this show specifically.
Yeah,
Hun isn't original. I mean, but the way they did him was pretty original. He was pretty cool.
They kind of made him like some Bruce Lee like knockoff.
Yeah, and he was the leader of the Purple Dragons this time. Instead of being like in the 2003 show, being like a little apprentice to Shredder or Ultron Shredder. I mean, yeah, he was pretty cool. He didn't get a lot of screen time. I mean, even though he's supposed to be Casey's #1 villain now.
Yeah, but I mean, he was on as a joke, kind of.
Favorite villain, probably the Creep.
I will say,
I can't lie, the Creep was pretty cool. It was a nice little horror take beginning for season 3. I did like that. That was nice.
I will say my top 3 original villains. Gotta go Neutralizer.
Neutralizer's clean.
Definitely gotta go the Creep, like you said.
Yeah, I feel like the Creep's definitely like one of the major top 5 original villains they did for the show. He's definitely up there, at least top 5.
And then I will say another villain also that kind of like
Justin. Can't forget about Justin.
Oh yeah, Justin all the way, bro. Justin. He's like Mikey was just like, you know what? I don't know. He was like, man, I don't get no fuck.
Call him Justin.
Just call him Justin, man.
Bro, I just love it.
Let's just call him Justin. And then we get into Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This happens obviously after the series finale. Nickelodeon starts up this series in 2017, and this is kind of like Elseworld. Not Elseworld, but it's more or less.
There's like a couple episodes that are Elseworlds on me, but mainly they just take place after season 4.
It takes place, mainly after. It introduces fucking Savanti Romero, which is the OG Turtles villain. They time travel. Then we get into a callback of Raph with his girlfriend Mona Lisa, and then there's that episode which you know what's so crazy? I never seen that episode until recently.
Yeah, to be fair, I still haven't rewatched season 5. I watched it like one time and just decided to skip over. It's honestly one of the few seasons I skip over. I mean, I skim through season 3 a little bit. I mean, because after the forest shit, it kind of slows down. Like I said, it comes more filler shit.
Mm-hmm.
So slow down.
Until one episode. You know what I'm talking about, the Mutant Apocalypse episode.
Yeah, bro, you can't skip that.
Okay, yeah. Look, that Mutant Apocalypse episode was fucking insane. I think probably definitely one of the more darker episodes of this series, bro. Like the way how everybody died, everybody literally. Yeah. And this is an Elseworld series where there was they never defeated the Krang, and there was a mutagen bomb, and then we get the chance to see fucking Casey's skull, and then we don't know what happened to April because another question is that how the fuck did she die? I mean, with the mutagen bomb, it's because she's immune to the mutagen. Yeah,
she's immune to it technically.
I'm assuming she must have got killed elsewhere, and then if Casey died, I also want to know what happened to fucking Casey. Like how the fuck did he die? Did he get killed off by someone, or did the mutagen bomb mutate him? What happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like if Casey got mutated, bro, he'd probably be on some this shit is cool or whatever. You know what I mean?
If he can control it, I don't know. A lot of people sometimes can't control it. Man couldn't control it.
This episode, the turtles are believed to be separated. Leo is believed to be dead. Same with Mikey. The only 2 survivors that they have are Raph and Donnie. And Donnie's body got destroyed, and he's inside a kind of like a Metalhead Mark II. Yep, on his Iron Man ship. And then Raph obviously has a fucking beard and shit, and he's he's like Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles rap. I think they took some from different comic books that represent the apocalypse type field to kind of introduce to this episode, which I feel like is insane. And then the biggest plot twist of them all, the biggest mutagen overlord thing is Leonardo. Yep. And then they finally have a reunion, and the turtles get their happy ending. But pretty much though, I remember my initial reaction to the end, because that technically is the last episode for real.
That is the last episode, yeah.
I mean, the last episode is technically the last episode is Bebop wanted Bebop and Rock.
Bebop was Rocksteady wanted, yeah.
Yeah, which we'll get into that in a little bit, but
I think that was the crossover. I didn't see it.
That was
there was skimming through season.
There's 2 crossovers, which we'll get into that in one second. But that was, I guess, the dark ending of the show, and I remember seeing that shit for the first time, bro. It low-key almost made me shed a tear, bro, because I was like, damn, bro. Sad, bro. It was sad. They don't they're all fucked up, bro.
We can't forget though. That's a what if. I mean, that's
exactly. It's a what if. But the final episode, because we've been talking for fucking a whole hour now, bro. But the final episode is Bebop wanted and Rocksteady, and this episode isn't supposed to be taken lightly. It's just supposed to be kind of callbacks to kind of everything and the history of the turtles, like little stuff like that. There's little Easter eggs.
You
like,
gotta love the respect they put to the, the adaptations of back then. I mean,
from before, like they have different, like if you notice, they had like the things that Bebop and Rocksteady were traveling through, and like the Krang building. It shows the years, like it shows 1988, it shows 1990, you feel me? It shows the different like years and stuff of the turtles. The worm has different, I guess he said something about how he had to go through different dimensions and shit. So when he got into the 80s universe, he knocked out the 80s turtles, I guess, or he beat them. He got back, I think, because the way how he specified it, he was just going through portal after portal after portal. So we don't really know exactly how he got back. After they go through the building wall and stuff, the turtles finished duke the fight out. Bebop and Rocksteady realized, it's like, bro, this villain life ain't for us. Because think about it, they were probably the only villains that were left. They didn't have jobs or anything like that. Like Razar died, and then Razar died, but then he got resurrected.
Yeah, he got resurrected.
I know this is like a little bit of a crappy kind of like analysis, but I mean, we're kind of going off memory. We don't want to spend the whole time. Like, I'll probably revisit this later on, like a couple of years from now, and really do a full analysis about the show. Because this show right now is the show came out in 2012, so this show is about 12 years old.
Yeah, about from now. Well, you say it came out 2012 or it ended 2012? No, it
came out
2012.
And it ended in 2017.
2017.
Yep,
Yeah, so,
2017.
So if we're talking about how old it is since it ended, that's probably about 6 years.
But how the show's age though? The show's age is about
about 8 years. 6, 7, 1, 2.
But the show's age as a whole though, is probably like 12 years old.
Oh yeah, 12 years definitely.
Yeah, it's 12 years old. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Bebop and Rocksteady Wanted, that came out the end of 2018, bro. Or not the end of 2018, the end of 2017.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will say this is definitely one of my favorite turtle incarnations. I would recommend anybody to really watch it. This is kind of like a little crappy little, I guess, analysis that we decided to put together for you guys, because we need more content to put on this shit.
We had to talk about it.
We had to talk about it. Bro, look, that show I think really shaped my childhood, bro. It really did, bro. Same with fucking his, bro. We used to have all the toys, the games, all that shit, bro. The merch.
In the game, we recently just played the 2012 Ninja Turtle new version of the game. With the little beat 'em up thing. We usually just played that.
We low key should do a let's play off that, bro.
We could.
Hey, this video gets like 5 likes, bro. We'll do a gameplay. We're shooting small, bro. But you guys, I guess that was a little crappy little analysis. Nothing much more to say, you guys. We obviously enjoyed this series, and to anybody that has not watched this show, I would definitely recommend spend the time buying Paramount Plus and sit down and really watch the show. Give it a try. I recommend. I say go in order, bro, and just have fun watching it. You know what I mean? And never know, you might like something. This is for my people that's like Gen Alpha and all this other crap that haven't seen the 2012 show. But you guys, nothing much more to say. Lorenzo's back, bro. We got more content coming soon, bro. Yes, sir. Nothing much more to say, you guys. I will see you guys later. Peace.